Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video, we are looking at Bloom Energy. It is time for another update. And in the previous video on this stock, I have shared with you a few ideas of how we could have expected quite easily continuation in this overall uptrend. There wasn't much weakness in the case of this chart, and we have been prepared to continue to higher prices within either the blue or the yellow interpretation. Within both of them, however, we had this possibility to extend directly higher, and I have shared with you this white area of support to look for an entry as soon as possible if you really wanted to be a part of this uptrend, if you didn't want to miss on the potential to extend directly higher, and it seems it has delivered. We have only reached the 50% retracement, neither of the larger areas of support, and we have pushed directly higher. Well, at this point, I can try to identify a potential top within this wave tree, and technically, I could consider this structure as full. I could already start looking for this larger wave 4 correction, but I do want to highlight that within this wave tree, we have a bit of an issue. We haven't reached the ideal target. We haven't even reached the 123.6% extension of the wave 1. And while it isn't impossible for this wave 3 to have a top in, I would actually prefer higher, and I believe we can actually even identify possible extensions in the case of this structure, where I consider that we would have one more high to actually form before having a more substantial top within this wave 3 in white. However, for this idea, we have to hold the internal levels of support down to $199.5, and if we get a sustained break below that, we actually don't even have much room to allow a deeper retracement. It can slide down a bit in the area of a wave 3 having already topped and looking for the larger wave 4 correction, but it would only go down to $193.9. Now, with all that said, we cannot identify at this point which pattern is actually going to play out, so we go into a smaller time frame to maybe look for a potential bottom. And within this smaller time frame, I am looking at the actual wave 4 correction that might have actually just formed a bottom today. Why? Well, it is because I now have a potentially complete 3-wave pattern in this area of an ABC structure, right? I would consider this to have been a wave A down, a wave B up, and this would be my wave C to the downside. This wave C would be expected to build a 5-wave pattern, and I believe we can consider that actually as complete. I could consider that this would be a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, a wave 3 that would have bottomed here. This could have been my wave 4, and the wave 5 would have formed a more substantial bottom. I do believe the proportions are good enough to consider this a realistic possibility. But we do have to highlight that this would have to be an ending diagonal. So, given this idea, even though I do have the possibility to track a full pattern in this structure, I cannot rule out the possibility of an extension where I would have only just formed the wave 3 bottom today, where I would still need a wave 4 correction to be taking place, and then a wave 5 to take me to even lower prices. So within this idea, we'll be tracking this extension in orange. I need to watch out for the levels of resistance up to $274. I would actually even like to see a break above the previous swing high we have at around $280. This has actually also been achieved today. And I would like that to be sustained for a stronger indication that a more substantial bottom would be in. Once again, the possibility of a wave 4 bottom being in and the wave 5 to the upside to new all-time highs to be ongoing is alive. We don't need any further extensions, but they are possible, and not only in this orange interpretation. And now a few more things to highlight in the case of this chart. We have actually bottomed at the previous swing lows we have formed within this internal correction. I'm quite happy with that. It is actually a common area to form a bottom within the large degree wave 4, but once more, it doesn't need to be the case. Secondly, if we have actually already topped within the large degree wave 3. This larger wave 4 correction, if it is to actually happen would be expected to be significantly larger than what we already have in place. So almost certainly, if we are to build this larger degree wave 4, we can expect an extension within this structure to the degree that I could track this to have been only a wave A down. I would be looking for a wave B and then a wave C that could ultimately form a more substantial bottom within this larger wave 4. I do prefer this idea of a direct extension higher. I do not believe we would actually even benefit from much of an extension within this wave 4 in white, this internal wave 4, beyond what we might have in this orange scenario or something adjacent to that. And for now, there really isn't much else to add here. We might be forming right now a bit of a bullish candle, although it's not quite engulfing yet. We will actually have to wait and see on that. So for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the content and want to support it directly, check out the channel membership, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.